slowly falling down cooler闇へ but never going back touch 向かえどうして高く上げてなお大ボーナなんてもうグッバイ証拠りもなくファイナカマと Need another day I wanna know it from nothing no more どこまでも笑ってこう今超えてく Also ready to break it up I'm not afraid yeah break it Keep it point in the dark 自分の力に変え wipe out 今ねじ曲げる視線 I never fall in I never ever care for them 今立ち向かう and I defeat myself I got ghosts, keep myself safe for backward I got ghosts, keep myself see a suspect Time away from me, it's not my shadow Smoke, let us set my tongue on a surface I could Nobody knows, cause I can't flow Live fast for the
Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another video. This is going to be a generic rant that I'm going to talk about and talking about me personally as to why I can never work at a fast food restaurant or customer service. The reason why I bring this up because the video where I talked about Monica Williams, who she killed someone at a fast food restaurant like Church's Chicken, has brought my attention, and I want to bring up a reason why, and I can never be in that situation. I could never be in that position, you guys, and you're gonna find out why. The reason, obviously, many reasons why I can never work at McDonald's. They pay literally minimum wage. I feel like they pay below that. Of course, you have to deal with angry customers, ones that are very ignorant, very obnoxious, and they try to uphold their right by saying the customer is always right, which I don't believe. Especially now that I'm grown up, and these customers are fully aware that you pretty much have to do whatever they ask. It's not everything, but they literally try to put you in a position where you're completely vulnerable. That's why they end up being disrespectful towards you. Me, I can never be that type of person. If I know there's something wrong, if someone's if the food they're sending me, again, if the food they're sending me has get literally shit on it, or rat poison, or some dead animal, or a cockroach, then yeah, I'd be infuriated, and I would say, yeah, I can't support McDonald's in general. But overall, these customers are absolutely just ignorant. I just cannot fathom their behavior. Like, if they really don't like the food that much, why don't eat at fast food? We all know, the thing is, though, they need to be aware that the food's gonna kill you either way. So why even be so reluctant on it, and then take it out on the employees? And that's definitely one of the reasons too why I can never work customer service, because I'm sure that, I don't know whether they're aware or not, because I can't really read people's minds, but they seem to forget that they should be more worried about the food rather than the employees. Because even when they make your food, even when they do it right or it tastes good, the food's gonna hurt you either way. You're gonna get sick. You're gonna get out of shape. So you should rather than take it out on the employee, you should be taking it on the food. Whoever is making the food, because I know somebody where of course they didn't get angry with the employee, but where they absolutely got sick at McDonald's. Because either the food, there was, again, obviously there's something wrong with the food, but nobody would have known, but at the same time the food was literally contaminated. So if I were the customer, I would try to be as nice as possible. If I'm really hungry and I'm trying to get a quick meal, whatever, I want to make sure that it's done correctly, it's cooked, it's not cold, and there shouldn't be any problems. But at the same time, it does not mean you have the right to curse and put your hands on the employee. And the reason why I say is, had that been me, you guys, I would lose my job there. I would defend myself. There's no way I'd be someone's punching bag just to keep a minimum wage job. And going again, speaking of fast food restaurants, one thing I did want to bring up is a lot of these fast food restaurants, they really don't care about the safety of their employees. And those for wondering why, I believe so. Because nowadays, talking about like, how you have like these angry customers being violent, they have the money. McDonald's really has the money. A lot of these restaurants have money. Like, not every restaurant, but we're talking about like McDonald's, obviously, Harvey's, Burger King, KFC. I'm not sure about KFC in my opinion, you guys. Places like Pizza, whatever, like multi. I don't want to say, I don't, and I can't assume, but whatever, like companies that are like multi-millionaire, like they have like multi-millionaire businesses, and they're making a lot of money. I'm just surprised they haven't made those like glasses for customers for their protection. That goes to show they have the money, but they're not willing to spend money to provide protection for their customers. I don't mean customers, my bad, for employees. Well, it should be for both. You don't know who could be crazy, but it's like, if anything, by having to pay like the glass, where it's like the employees feel safe when they're making the food, especially when you're by the cashier or whatever. At least you know that these people actually can't be able to put their hands. They can't do anything. They can argue. They might, especially if they're trying to spit on you. Especially if they try to spit on you, that's reason enough. Then you have to buy protection for your employees for the sake of keeping your restaurant alive and making them feel comfortable, so that they can actually be able to work in order to provide the food when necessary. Whatever is necessary to keep your employees around as well as customers. Because I just find it very hypocritical nowadays how the management is talking about how they don't want their employees confronting the customers or trying to go toe to toe with them, or like have beef with them. But it's like, why? What if they're so concerned? Why don't they ever think of opportunities to prevent that? And like I said before, they really need to find ways to provide protection, and that goes to show they really don't care about their employees. Like it's just crazy how it pisses me off how ungrateful these businesses are. And I'm being truthful about that. You're working for them. You're trying to make an honest living. You're trying to do whatever you can to survive, and even if you're doing your best job, it still isn't enough, because they're fully aware they can always replace. They know they're expendable. They can always replace the old employees for new employees. But it's like they don't try to do anything to actually ban customers who are outright tormenting these poor employees. They're actually going out of their way. And again, it could be also on top of that, talking about protection. Of course, they need to provide protection for customers too. That's another reason why. So it gives customers a reason not to actually punch anybody by the counter. Because if they do end up punching glass, they're going to end up literally bruising up their arms, end up cuts, bleeding out. So it gives them second thoughts what not to do, and whether it's worth it or not. But clearly, I can assure you it's not. But it's not worth my life, you guys. And I even said, had that been the case where I felt the need to defend myself, I'll do whatever I can to keep myself alive, even if it means losing my job, even if they're paying me. Because at the end of the day, they know I'm expendable. They're always going to replace me. And trust me, I've never worked at a restaurant before. Trust me, never. I'll explain the jobs listed that I worked outside of cashier and fast food restaurants. One, I worked doing data entry. One, I worked as a contractor. One, I did recycling, carpentry. I did shipping and receiving. I did so many other jobs that I can name. I did labeling, packaging. And it did not involve me having to put up with these customers, where I never had to be at the front, where I had to take up what they had to tell me, them putting their hands on me, and I felt safe. And there are times where I could actually be able to work independently without anybody bothering me. That's the type of work that I want. And then even if you, yeah, of course, you got to work with people, but it's like at the same time, we're all in it for the same thing. But these customers, it's not like they're getting paid. They know that you need to do whatever you can to make whatever means in order to survive. And they take advantage of that because they know you're in a situation where that you're always going to be guilty, and that even if they're the ones who started, the customer may be guilty too. But it's like the employee is just as guilty for basically advocating for whatever, even though you're simply trying to keep yourself from harm's way. So I've done multiple jobs where it did not involve fast food like McDonald's, working at it like as a cashier, customer service, whether it may be like Canadian Tire, Metro, whatever, or any grocery store, fast foods in general. Whatever involves customer service, I refuse. Trust me, guys. It's not worth the headache. Trust me. Trust me, I know for a fact. Had I been through that, it may not be the majority of customers. I know not all customers are bad, but if I were to deal with somebody like that, you know it's gonna turn out ugly, and I have to really resort to being violent, because I know that my safety is my priority rather than this job. Because what does the job know about what does the job know about my well-being? What do they even care what happens to me? So it is just beyond me, you guys, that considering the money that these restaurants make, and we're talking about like they're possibly multi-millionaires. I don't want to assume billionaires, but they have the money to provide the protection, because if they were, they'll still be able to garner more money, because they're making their employees feel comfortable and giving them reason to actually continue working and do whatever they can to provide service in order to be able to like be able to like keep their like life in check, in order to keep their business in check as well as stable. Because how can you run a stable business if every time your employees have to worry about their safety being threatened, especially by these like insolent, just outright spoiled customers? And it's one thing having kids, like I don't like, it shouldn't be a problem if there's kids screaming, being loud. Of course, they expect that. But we're talking about adults here that can actually ruin people's lives, in which they intend to do so, and that's what some people don't seem to realize. These customers that are angry, that are going around attacking employees, are out here doing whatever they can to make you risk losing your job. And sometimes you have no choice but to. Because even though you probably are going through a really rough time, you're not making enough money, and you want your day to pass by quickly, but wouldn't you want your day to pass by like comfortably? Wouldn't you want to be able to work where it keeps you focused, where you don't have to worry about employee again, other men. I wouldn't say, I don't want to include employees, because that we're not too sure of, because they people are doing whatever they can to make amends, but and to make in order to make means, but at the same time, it's like people need to think people really need to think about their priorities and get it straight. My safety always comes first, you guys, because again, of course, you can be able to like serve the customer, but it doesn't mean you have to take up with their bullshit and let them like abuse you, literally, and then you're gonna be like under a lot of stress. It's gonna put a lot of pressure. Like, the whole purpose of a workplace, you want to make sure you want to find whatever possible, whatever means you can to avoid peer pressure. Not just avoid it, you want to make sure you're not under a lot of stress too, so you can actually work comfortably. But it seems like nowadays these businesses are trying to do whatever they can to like put as much stress on their employees as much as they can. Why? Because they think it's gonna encourage them to work even harder for them and to be their lapdog. And that's how I look at it, you guys. Or if anything, I'm not sure if I mentioned in my previous run video about workplaces. I feel at the same time they're trying to really push your buttons to look for a reason to fire you, because either they may not like you or they're just on a power trip, and that's what it is with these managers, and that's something people really need to address too. I wouldn't say address it at your job, but I would say address it outside the job, while you're not working or after you've been fired, whatever is possible. Because if you do it while you're in the middle of work, who knows, and you really need that money, they might just fire you outright. So they just probably kick you out from there. But no, but I want to say one last thing. There's no way I'm gonna be there's no way I'm gonna take the abuse, like whether it may be from management or these customers. No way am I gonna have to put up with it. Like, and I'll do whatever I can to like defend myself if need be. But at the same time, you have to let people be aware that you deserve respect, and that's what it seems like. Even when you try to show respect, people take advantage of it, and they feel like you don't deserve it. If someone's not willing to like owe you for your respect, you might as well, just give them the middle finger, leave. Don't even have to like associate with these people anymore, and just move on from there. And I'm definitely never in my life will I ever decide to work with customers behind the counter. Trust me on that. I can assure you, because they know they could put me at risk. But if I try to retaliate, I'll be the one that's in trouble, and they're gonna get the least amount of punishment. And although whether it may be the policy, whether that may be the risk of keeping that job, I'm not doing it for the sake of trying to please my management, my staff, whoever it may be. I'm not trying to make them smile whatsoever, because let me keep this straight, you guys. I'm only in it for my sake, so I can do whatever I can to like make sure I can like be able to like live my life, to be able to make a living, and just keep pushing to the point where I can like be able to live comfortably. I don't have to worry about what people think at the end of the day. That it doesn't matter what they think about me, but if I do whatever I can to know that I'm trying at least, and even when you tell your manager you're trying your best, sometimes your best is enough, because they just might not like you. So from there, just say fuck them and go. And just be you. Do whatever makes you happy. And all I ever wanted to do is just really just enjoy life and enjoy what makes me like as a proud person. And that's a reason to actually be able to like live, for you to actually have a purpose in life, and let people know that like you're not gonna let their words like basically put you down stuff. But at the same time, it's like, if whatever you do that keeps you in a good mood, just do whatever you can that motivates you. Just do whatever you can that motivates you. Trust me. Trust and believe, you guys. And you don't have to worry, because there may be more opportunities on the way for you. Whether there may be even more, there may even be a high-paying job, or you might be able to do something that satisfies you, to avoid having bad days and being able to like make the better of the situation, and be able to like embrace life on how you should, and avoid complications, to make it so that you don't have to think about all the sufferable things that you had to go through. And that's what I think about. Just do whatever I can that keeps me in a good mood, and just try to focus and get my things concentrate on positive stuff. But I feel like I've been going too long in this video, you guys. I just wanted to get everything across my mind and what I just want to let out and just be able to speak whatever I feel like need to be said. But overall, I feel like I said enough, you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to check for more upcoming content in the future. Be sure to check your notifications. Comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.